Are you looking to move to Eatontown, New Jersey, but you aren't sure if it's the right town for you just yet? Well, good news for you, I got just a video for you. Today we're going to be going over everything that you need to know about Eatontown, New Jersey. We're going to cover a couple different topics like the location, commute to work, and believe it or not, even Netflix moving to Monmouth County. But before we get started, if it's your first time to the channel, my name is Steve McCutcheon, and I'm a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway. On the Live in Central New Jersey channel, we cover everything related to the Central Jersey real estate market. So if you're the first one to know what's going on in either Monmouth or Ocean County real estate, feel free to click the bell, hit the subscribe button, but let's get the video started. The first topic, and probably one of the most important because you got to know where Eatontown is at, is going to be the location. And as you can see from the map coming up real quick, it's going to be located on the eastern part of Monmouth County, but not just quite the Jersey Shore. It's a little bit more inland than that. It's going to border a couple different areas like Shrewsbury, Tinton Falls, and West Long Branch. And Eatontown is going to be made up of roughly 6 square miles and it's a population of about 13,500. In terms of major roadways that go through Eatontown, you're going to have Route 18, 35, and 36. They all pretty much run north to south, although 36 when it comes across is going to actually be east to west in the Eatontown area, but the actual roadway is going to go north to south throughout pretty much the rest of the route that it's going to be on. Then when it comes to the Garden State Parkway, that's going to be one of 2 major highways that we have here in New Jersey. That's going to run north to south, and it just is outside of Shrewsbury, or outside of Eatontown. You have to go into neighboring town in Tinton Falls to be able to access it, but it's going to be right there. So if you're on the western border of Eatontown, you have quick access to Garden State Parkway. Being a toll road, it runs north to south, and that's also going to get you from either New York City or all the way north, and it goes to the most southern point of New Jersey, and that's going to be Cape May. Next up, we're going to want to cover just the commuting options for Eatontown. So there's 3 main ways you want to get into New York City from Eatontown. That's going to be driving yourself, taking the bus, or taking the train. We're not going to cover Philadelphia on this one because I think it's just a little too far and the route's going to be kind of crazy to get to, and you're well over 2 hours in order to get to Philadelphia, so I don't know if that's really worth it for most people. If you want to, it is drivable technically, but it is going to take up a large portion of your day. So when it comes into getting to New York City, in my opinion, the best route to get there if you're driving yourself is just like we mentioned with the Garden State Parkway. So you're going to hop on over to that, take that up north, and that pretty much brings you directly into like the Manhattan area pretty much. So that's going to be your easiest one. You can maybe cross over to New Jersey Turnpike and enter New York a different way. There's a couple different ones, different routes you can take depending on where you work, whether it's Manhattan, Staten Island, Brooklyn, Bronx, or whatever the case might be, right? So a lot of times typically Manhattan because the money's pretty good up there, but the quality of life here is going to be better here in New Jersey. So roughly hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, probably on a good day, just because traffic's going to be there. You're dealing with rush hour, more cars, accidents, weather, and that kind of thing. So the other 2 options are going to be taking the bus and then taking the train. When it comes to taking the bus, you are going to take an Academy bus, not NJ Transit. NJ Transit, unfortunately, would have to go like 3 or 4 different buses in order to get to the same destination. Academy is just a one-stop shop pretty much. So you'll get on, there's a stop over in Eatontown, and you can just take that directly into Port Authority in the city. Again, roughly about an hour and a half-ish time frame for the bus to New York City. The last one's going to be taking the train. Out of the 3 options we listed, this would probably be the least favorable for you just because there's not a train that goes through Eatontown, I should say. There's a couple different stops to go around it. So you're going to have the Little Silver, Monmouth Park, or the Long Branch option. Little Silver would be the most northern one, so you can skip a few stops that way. So if you're in the more northern part of Eatontown, it probably would make more sense to go over to the Little Silver train station, and this way get you to New York City. Again, crazy amount, about an hour and a half to an hour it'd be an hour and 20 to an hour and a half. I wouldn't say an hour 40. So roughly all about the same commute times. I guess it would just take your preference upon which one you want to go to. Point number 3 will be the school system and education. So the Eatontown Public School District, according to niche.com, is going to be rated a B, houses roughly about 1,000 students, and has a 15-to-1 student-teacher ratio. Now it's also going to be made up of quite a few different schools. So you're going to have 3 elementary and 1 middle, and they're broken down into K through 1st grade, 2nd through 4th, 5th and 6th. That's going to be the elementary part. And then for middle school, I guess they have 7th and 8th. I know back when I used to attend middle school, it was 6th through 8th, and then K through 5 was one whole elementary school. Obviously a completely different township and everything, but I guess maybe things have changed a little bit where they've broken it down more. And then when your child moves on to high school, they would attend Monmouth Regional High School. Being that it's regional, it actually is going to be located over in Tinton Falls, and it pulls kids from Eatontown, Shrewsbury, and then Tinton Falls as well. So that's going to be your public school options. If you want to go into private, the 2 nearest ones are going to be Christian Brothers Academy and the Rainey School. Both of them are actually ranked in the top 2 private schools that we have here in Monmouth County. Can be a little costly, so I would definitely recommend just looking into the tuition on them and maybe even some financial aid. Christian Brothers Academy will be an all boys though, so just a heads up on that one. On the housing side of things, we're on to point number 4 now. That's going to be basically condos and townhomes, and then single families. There's really not too many adult communities that are going to be located throughout Eatontown. So when it comes to the condos and townhomes, the price ranges are going to vary heavily here. You have everything from a a studio co-op, which is a little bit different than a condo in terms of ownership rights. So that's going to run you about like $100,000 to $150,000, and it goes all the way up to $1.5 million new construction townhomes. So those are the the ends of those ranges. Not really the norm, I would say. The median prices roughly are going to be between about $400,000 to $600,000, between 2 and 3 beds, 2 and 3 baths, and that kind of thing. So much more common to see between that 400 to 600 mark than on those ends, but it does exist in Eatontown, so it kind of varies, or you kind of have every price range that you might be looking for. And moving on to the single family side of things, the prices are also going to range pretty heavily here. You can find anything from a fixer-upper in the low 300s to a brand new mansion that's going to be about almost close to $2 million. So again, pretty big range on that one. So where does the median pretty much sit? I would say between about $500,000 to $1 million is your typical or average single family home here in Eatontown, and that's going to range from about 3 to 5 beds and 3 to 5 baths. So it just kind of goes hand in hand. Obviously, as you move up the price ranges, your number of beds and baths, square footage, and all that should typically increase. If you're looking for just the cheapest move-in ready home, I would say you're going to have a 4 in front of that. So probably in like the low 4s, 425, 450 for typically like a smaller ranch style home over in Eatontown. So that's going to be pretty much your move-in ready price right there. But again, the bulk of the prices between $500,000 and $1 million. Point number 5 is going to be the new Netflix compound that's coming to Eatontown and Oceanport as well. So a while back, a couple years ago, Netflix bought the old Fort Monmouth complex, and this was years in the making at this point. They actually just got their final approvals, so they're going to start building in 2025. So it is becoming a thing. It was 50-50 on if they were going to be able to get it down through the townships and the zoning boards and all that, but they did, and they are moving forward with it. So this is going to become a thing. There's a couple different takes on it. So obviously some people here hate it because they're thinking that's just going to be overrun. Celebrities are going to flock to the area. I don't necessarily know. Some are nicknaming it the Hollywood of the East. I somewhat agree, but also somewhat don't. So I agree that we are going to start seeing, more celebrities in the area. It's going to bring a massive load of jobs over here too. We're starting up pretty much a brand new industry here in New Jersey with the film industry. So that wasn't necessarily a strong point of ours before. We were more of our economy here was always tourism with the beaches and the Jersey Shore that we have. That's like our big thing. Now this is coming to the area, and it's kind of a little bit of an unknown. So I do agree with it. It is going to become a little bit more congested potentially. Home values are definitely going to dramatically rise when this is going full force. Right now, we have about 1,100 listings in Monmouth County total, right? So you're talking anything from the lowest end condos all the way up to the multi-million-dollar mansions. So just with that being said, if Netflix brings more jobs and we even have listings, where are these people going to live? That's going to dramatically increase our prices, especially with the shortage of inventory that we have right now. But do I really believe it's going to become the Hollywood of the East? I don't know, just for the sole fact, I don't know if a lot of celebrities, while some are going to probably purchase homes here just for the ease and sake of having their own place, definitely believe that's going to happen. But I don't know if they want to really give up the California lifestyle. I could be wrong on that one, but obviously just the weather out there is going to be a little bit different than we're going to have here in Jersey, and just a couple other things that go along with it too, right? We do have a pretty good nightlife here. We do have a lot of bit of tourism. We have the Jersey Shore, so there are benefits to living here without a doubt. But I just don't know if we're going to have a massive flock of celebrities moving over here. Although, Happy Gilmore 2 is being filmed in Jersey, a large portion of it, and we've seen Adam Sandler quite a bit recently. So take it as you will. There are going to be some pros and cons to just having the Netflix compound here. Overall, though, if you are buying a house in Monmouth County, definitely get in the next couple years before this goes full force. Point number 6 will be the shopping and dining options available to us. So with Eatontown, Route 35 and 36, especially where they intersect, is going to have a lot of different small businesses and strip malls along the entire place. So that's going to be probably the bulk of where you're going to see the most amount of just businesses in general. The Monmouth Mall was also going to has been around for about like 65 years or so. That was also a big destination for a very, very long time. Unfortunately, with online shopping, Amazon, with most malls around the country, they've definitely taken a massive hit. JCPenney's closed down over there. I think Macy's was the other big department store that closed down. What they're doing now is they took out a lot of, probably about 30,000 square foot worth of retail space, and they're actually turning that into apartments, and I don't know if there's condos, definitely apartments, about 1,000 of them. So that's kind of getting converted in the process as we're talking right now. I think construction has already started here in 2024 and moving forward. So it's going to be interesting to see how that project turns out. The entire mall is not going away though, so there are still stores that are going to be there, but it's just not going to be as big as it once was. The other big shopping plaza is going to be located over in Tinton Falls, so just the next town over. That's going to be the Jersey Shore Premium Outlets. They have about 100 specialty stores over there. That's going to range anything from Nike and Adidas outlets to even Calvin Klein over there. So it has a wide variety of stores, and that's going to be pretty much your bulk of shopping that you're going to have here. If you want to go a little farther out east into Long Branch, you're going to have Pure Village. That's also a pretty big spot for a lot of people, so they'll have about 50 stores there. And on the dining side of things, again, it's going to be very similar to the shopping. Route 34 and 36 are going to be your hotspots for it. A lot of it's going to be either your typical fast food, casual restaurants that are more sit down. You got Buffalo Wild Wings over there, you got a Wingstop, Chick-fil-A, and a lot of those kind of restaurants. So a little bit more chainy in that area, I would say. If you want to go outside of Eatontown a little bit, you'll find a lot more typical small business, mom and pop restaurants that are really good in the area. Long Branch is going to have a couple. If you want to travel a little farther down south into the Asbury Park, Belmar area, you'll be flooded with them over there. So not necessarily, I would say, in Eatontown is going to be like these really great hotspots, but if you're looking for a bite to eat, you will definitely find no shortage of it by any means. Point number 7 will be the different entertainment options that we have here. With Eatontown, there's not a ton that goes on, obviously, within the township, but it's also completely surrounded by a lot of things to do. So, for instance, we already said it's so close to the Jersey Shore, right? It's on the eastern part of Monmouth. So you're going to have plenty of different beaches that you can go to from Long Branch, Belmar, Asbury Park. They all have really good areas to go, and also a pretty solid nightlife there as well. Then if you're looking for just something to do maybe during the day with the family or your friends, Monmouth Park is going to be located in Oceanport, and that's where a lot of horse racing goes on. So you can go there, bet on some horses, or if they're not going your way that day, they actually implemented a sports book. I think it's Caesars that's over there now, or Caesars or FanDuel, one of the two big ones. So that's also a possibility there. So you can go have some fun, hopefully win a couple bucks. Then if you're maybe into just sports in general, in Tinton Falls, you're going to have Capelli Sports Complex. They're going to have different adult and youth leagues over there that's going to be running constantly, some tournaments. That's also a big thing. So realistically, anywhere you go, if you want more of maybe a night out, go a little bit farther north into Red Bank, catch a comedy show, the bars, the restaurants over there. You're surrounded pretty much in every direction by something to do. So while there's not maybe a ton in Eatontown, you're going to have no shortage of options within 10, 15, 20 minutes of you. And that's going to be the top 7 things to know about moving to Eatontown. If you have any questions on it or you're thinking about possibly moving there, feel free to reach out. All my contact information is down low in the comments and description. So whether you're 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, even year out, it doesn't matter to me. Let's just get you on the right path towards your real estate goals. And if you're looking to move to a different part of the Central Jersey area, check out 2 videos popping up and hopefully help out a bit too. Have a great day.